After 2 years or so of debate, American Space Agency NASA announced the names of the companies that will be making the crew-rated Lunar Terrain Vehicles for the needs of the Artemis astronauts. We learned back in May 2026 that these two are Venturi Astrolab and Lunar Outpost, each with their own design. But there was another competitor in the cards for the contract, Intuitive Machines, and if you ask me, their idea looked the best of the bunch. Intuitive Machines is one of the most active private space companies in the world, and the one that will forever be remembered as the first such US-based entity to have landed something on the moon, the Nova C-class lander called Odysseus, that touched down in the spring of 2024. The idea these guys had in mind for the Artemis LTV program is called Moon Reusable Autonomous Crewed Exploration Rover. That's RACER for short, and that's not only an acronym but also a sort of description of how the thing is supposed to look. You see, because of the nature of their design, crew-rated moon rovers have never been pretty-looking things. Just think of the lunar roving vehicle that served the needs of the Apollo program. It was basically a chassis with 4 wheels, rudimentary seats bolted on, and a large antenna installed up front that looked more like an umbrella. By contrast, the RACER looks like more of a proper, rugged, and potent off-road race car. That's also the case when pitted against the 2 new rovers that have been selected for the Artemis missions, which continue to look utilitarian, practical, and not meant to be pretty. NASA never said why the RACER failed to make the cut this time around, but my hope is that, given the expansive needs of the Artemis program, which has now been repurposed to help establish a permanent presence on the surface of the moon, not picking it now doesn't necessarily mean it won't be deployed up there sometime in the future. Whatever the case, here's what the world lost in terms of near-term hardware for the exploration of the moon. The RACER, also called the LTV Heavy, is a boxy construction that stands 8.5 feet tall, 14 feet long, and 13 feet wide. An undisclosed kind of electric powertrain would give it a top speed of 9.3 miles per hour. That may not seem like much here on Earth, but it's more than enough in the conditions on the moon. Like all other vehicles designed for use on the surface of the moon, the RACER was designed for use in extreme cold, over-rugged terrain, and in the limited sunlight available at the lunar South Pole. The rover can operate either under the control of the humans on board, or remotely controlled and even in autonomous fashion. Its onboard systems, including the LiDAR system, have been designed to have round-the-clock access to mission data, navigation, timing, and communications. In the initial design of the rover, the modular payload capacity of the machine should allow it to carry up to 1,110 pounds of cargo, including 2 fully suited astronauts. A robotic arm is included in the design, and, in the renderings Intuitive Machines released, there also seems to be a trailer it pulls behind it. Like both its competitors, Intuitive Machines worked with a series of partners to develop the RACER. The list includes AVL, Boeing, Michelin, and Northrop Grumman, each tasked with designing a certain aspect of the rover. The overall design and build of the rover fell on Boeing, the same company that was largely responsible for making the moon rover of the Apollo era. Planning and operation of the 4-wheeler also falls on Boeing. The wheels would be wrapped in Michelin tires that have not been detailed yet, while the power system is the work of Northrop Grumman. Finally, the unspecified electric drivetrain, as well as the steering and suspension, are the work of AVL. On its end, Intuitive Machines is supposed to lead systems integration, spacecraft design, energy management, avionics, autonomous navigation, sensors, controls, mission planning, and operations. As said, the RACER has not been selected for use in the first few crewed missions to the lunar surface of the Artemis program. But that doesn't mean it won't roll its wheels on the rugged surface up there. As already stated in NASA's ignition announcement back in March 2026, the main purpose of the Artemis program is now to establish a permanent human presence on the moon. That includes the establishment of an outpost. And for that to happen, multiple rovers will be required. Intuitive Machines says fully functional mock-ups of the racer have been created for NASA, with some of them undergoing testing at Meteor Crater in Arizona and at the Johnson Space Center. When it will be ready to do its part, the rover will be sent to the Moon on board an updated version of the Nova D lander and will begin helping astronauts build humanity's first outpost on another celestial body.